Okay, so welcome back to Goon with these coins and banknotes, and today we're talking about the HSBC $5 banknote from Hong Kong. And this series was issued between 1959 and 1975, so it had a bit of a run, and it overlapped with the issuance of the larger banknote of the same denomination. So there isn't that much information on the actual value of these banknotes, but if you look in illustrated catalogue of Hong Kong currency, this one's 25 years old, so the values are out of date. But basically in 2000, these are the values, and as you can see, 1963 and before had the highest values, and 1963 is the key note. So the ones I have, we're going to look at, got 1967, 75, got a few other dates, but they're the ones that we're going to look up. Values, basically 25 years ago, it's about 10 Australian dollars, and 1975 was pretty much like $2. Now, a pretty poor banknote, really, you're going to be paying $5, so pretty much the values about 5 times what they used to be. But we'll analyse the banknotes first. So we have the coat of arms of the United Kingdom up the top, and then we have a Chinese ship as well as a British sailing ship, and it looks like we have some people on the shore, so the shoreline. So this will be the British arrival in Hong Kong harbour after they pretty much defeated the Chinese during the First Opium War, I would say. And at the time, the UK was the largest illegal drug well, they dealt heavily in illegal drugs, so they can't really say these days about the drug trade when they were heavily involved, and I wouldn't be surprised if governments are still involved in it. Okay, we have the watermark. It has 5 and it has a Roman legionnaire with his helmet, which is pretty distinct between the Greco-Roman period. Not only that, a lot of other cultures also adopted that type of armour. Okay, we have allegorical feature of a woman, so I don't know what that represents, but it probably could be Britannia, although she doesn't have the shield. And then we have Hong Kong Shanghai Bank in English and Chinese. So the Chinese you need to read from right to left, so it's Hong Kong, Shanghai. And then we have the value, so also you read the value in Chinese from right to left, so 5 man, $5. And we have Hong Kong again, and the signatures of the actual people. So General Management and Chief Accountant. And this was printed by Bradbury Wilkinson in the United Kingdom. Okay, Hong Kong, and the background is just padded features, but if we get a better banknote you can actually see it a lot better. So that's a security feature at the time, and I don't see any microprint on these banknotes, so no microprint, which is not unknown in the feature. And in the background of the woman is the actual another boat. And if we look at this again, that might be Kowloon Peninsula, not too sure. Anyway, I like stylized cursive writing as well, which we don't really have on banknotes these days. Okay, on the back we have the third HSBC building. So this building was, there is an article on Wikipedia, you can read about it. Built in 1934 and demolished in, I think, 1981, or maybe before, probably 1979 or 80. And to me it's just a blocky building, typical of the 1930s, and also quite boring. At the top we have a woman holding looks like she's holding a flag or something. In the background, some rock or boulder with wings. So that's a bit weird. Oh no, she got a trumpet. Okay. So she's probably trumpeting in bed. Anyway, then we have the rest of the banknote, which just has patination to help prevent counterfeiting. Although these days computers quite easily replicate this type of stuff. But as you can see, the actual printing has high and low relief on the other side. Okay, and we've got different colours. The main colour is itself brown, dark brown. Then we have greens and yellows in the background. And this is, at the time, it was the lowest value banknote in circulation. Hong Kong got rid of the $1 banknote in 1960. Okay, now, if you're going to collect these, 1975 is pretty easy to get. 72, yeah, not too hard. These, you can probably get these for about $5 to $10. 1975. Then we have, so these ones I'm probably going to get rid of. These ones are for my collection, so 1967, almost uncirculated. Okay, so this one is, if the 3 and the 4 were the same, that will be an excellent banknote to keep. Because it's high grade, it's also pretty good to keep. This one is low numbers, so that's why I kept that. And if you get any banknotes with a lot of 8s in it, that's a really good positive. If you get it with 4 CCCC, then it wouldn't be popular because that represents death, but represents wealth. Okay, here we have the one from 1975, high grade as well. So these are ones you really want to get. And if you're really patient, sometimes you can get these for like $5 to $10 each, which is really good value. Okay, it's 1975, the best one I've got. And the last one I have is 1969, but I've kept it because it's a radar. So if you don't know what a radar is, got 138831. So it is the same on both sides. So, or you can say it's a mirror. So you put something in between, and on each side's the same. Okay, so that's basically what that is. And that's the eBay number before. This one's uncirculated. So we'll see how much these cost on eBay. But they're quite a nice banknote to get, and not too expensive. Okay, so as I said before, we're going to see sold items. So we'll do 1975 first. And so we have a pretty low grade banknote for $5. You're really not going to be able to get these individually for less than that. But this one is actually fairly high grade for $9, really. That one I definitely would snap up. What date is that? 1975. And then we have the other ones. So we go down. So $4 for a low grade banknote. $3. Ooh. Yeah, now you're getting it. But that one's probably really terrible. Then you can get them together. I would prefer to buy them like this. This one, 33, yeah, not surprised. That's pretty cheap for that banknote. Okay, 1975 for, yeah. So low grade ones you pick up for about $5 with postage. So really, not many of them have been sold. Don't worry about that, that's expensive. $2. Yes, not surprised it's from Hungary. But that's, I definitely would snap that up, but get a few other items. Then you've got graded ones, so obviously these graded ones, you're not going to get money back on grading. But from China, PCGS, PMG, so these are reputable grading companies. And so 25 to $40 for 1975 graded. Then 73, looks to be slightly miscut. 74. Yeah, so you can check to see what these do sell for. So the low grade one's about $5. Highest one I've seen is $44 for pretty much an uncirculated banknote. Okay, so then we have 1967. We've got one that's in pretty good condition. So that's that one for $14, and that's pretty low for that. See, pretty good numbers. And then we have another one. So this one is pretty much uncirculated, and they're consecutive. So got 8788, and that's sold for $10 plus $10 postage. That person lost money on that one. They should have actually gone for a lot more, but that's the way they are. You got 5. So these are the ones I bought, I think, for $5. So that's what you need to look for. And then you got 1975. So not many banknotes for sale from 1976. Okay, maybe we'll look at $14. 75. So really, and then you got to have a banknotes which are not part of what we are talking about. 1967 looks pretty uncirculated. 1965, should I say? Well, for about $8, and it's got one fold. So EF condition, really. So that's also, so really it seems like the demand is running out of these banknotes. And the last one, so basically because these were the most common banknotes at the time, so HSBC issued the most number of banknotes. Some of the dates are easy to get, especially the 70s. The 1960s, probably 1959 is hard to get in grades EF and higher. These ones, obviously 1967, you can actually pick them up for pretty good value. But anyway, that's the end of the video. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. And have awesome coin and banknote collecting time. So I will be going through different Hong Kong banknote series as well as the coins, continuing on to make a video about each one. Thank you and have a good time.